Welcome to the Ports Garrison. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Greetings once again. Welcome to the Ports Garrison. I am Phil the Poet, and today we have in episode number 2. The dancehall man them would have killed me for that and give me some why. What's it? Episode dos or few on the series I'm calling The Week That Was. If you're visiting for the first time, then sit back and relax and make yourself at home. If you're a regular visitor, then you don't know the thing. So as I said, this is episode number 2. And whatever they want, if they want to why me or whatever, okay, fine. So it's week number 4 of 2023. That's what we're going to review. So you know what? Let's go. Now, it's a whole heap of things happening this week. A whole bunch of things going on. And some of them, let me sit back and go, whoa. But for the most part, I think the conscience and the thoughts of Jamaicans was occupied by one particular thing, I would say. And I'm going to touch on it. I touched on it in the last episode, but I will touch on it again. But I want to look and see if there was anything that I missed from my last review. And yes, there were some things that I missed. There was an election in Antigua and Barbuda. I think the sitting government was returned to office, and I want to congratulate them. I think it's Gaston Brown is the Prime Minister, if I'm not wrong, and I want to send congratulations to that. One other thing I missed was in Jamaica, I did miss to mention the Anova gold find. The gold find, or what they thought was a gold find. So some Jamaicans literally thought that they'd struck gold in 2024. Dozens of residents in Chester Castle in Anova who had spent days digging up a property looking for substance believed to be pure gold had their dreams of richness placed on hold after they were informed that they had dug up a mineral called pyrite, known as fool's gold. Some people even barley water to rot it and find out say, and a real gold. So the woman whose property they're digging on says she spent $300,000 to build a absorption pit. And in the mad rush of these gold diggers, pun intended, literal gold diggers, they destroyed the woman pit. The walls broke from all of this digging, and them just a dig, everybody dig somewhere else. So the walls broke, causing the pit to collapse. Now the woman can't move in her house, and she's left to find money, additional money, to go fix the pit where the people them mess with. But you know the funny thing that I thought about? The woman want justice, she said that. She want justice. But the thing that I thought about is, even if there was gold, even if they found gold, what are the chances that these people would actually get in there? Because I'm wondering who will be first there. They done them. You will say, look, 70% of it, whatever you find on my own, can be done. Or Prime Minister Andrew Onis and his emissaries to go say, oh, cease and desist because all mining. I mean, I think they would have get done. Whether it was real gold or not, they would have get something. Nothing. There's something that they get nothing. That is me. I look into the last week number 4. And some things are constant. In Jamaica, some things just constant. Crime is still about, still rising. But we're not going to spend no more time to highlight crime and that kind of crime. There's another kind of crime, but not that kind of crime. Right? So, last time I spoke about the issue with the head of the CPSFA and the Minister of Education and Youth asking her nicely to step down, but I did some investigation, and persons were demonstrating outside of some offices to get her to be, I guess, fired. Now I see the Public Services Commission in Jamaica is recommending the termination of the head of the Scandal 8 organization. Now, a recommendation of termination is better, far better, than the minister asking nicely and politely for the person to step aside. Step aside now. Now, minister, as we said last time, forceful. Go for what you want, forcefully. Now, there was something that struck me. I'm not sure it was last week or the week before. But there was a story of a woman who took a man to court for physical abuse. I think it was at the office. And the man turned around and physically beat her just outside of the courthouse. What an injustice. What a wicked fellow. They have to just sketch that and lock that up and dash for the keys and beat out what you have to beat out. That is wickedness. I don't support them kind of behavior, bro. No time. No way. No, sir. So, I'm moving on to, as I'm coming on my mind, moving on. I saw where a grade two student at Olmsted Primary, an infant school in St. Catherine, was praying for the Minister of Education, Favor Williams. I think she visited the school, and the grade two student, must be a bright scholar, was asked to give the vote of thanks. But what made this so mind-blowing for me was the images of the minister kneeling in front or beside the guy, the youngster with his hand on her head. Now, some people say the Bible says a child shall lead the way. I don't know what kind of prayer this youngster could be saying. Must be mimicking what he hears either in church or in school. But if a child shall lead the way, why the minister has to resign and give the child the ministry for him? He can lead the way all the way. I can't believe that that's a PR thing. I can't. I just don't understand. And speaking of schools and all that, every time I look, there's some issue with teachers' salary. Late, delayed. What's going on? When the teachers have no respect? What's really happening? It's in the Ministry of Universal Ministry of Education says it's aware that some teachers and central staff have not seen their monthly salaries reflected in their accounts. There was a thing says some scamming go on. But however, the minister said, but the situation should be remedied soon. Acting Permanent Secretary Maureen Dwyer explained that the salaries were uploaded late from the Accountant General's Department and Ministry of Education. Yeah, people are dealing with commitments and bills and everything there. So John, I come pay you tomorrow. Come I get paid later on this evening. No money in my account. John thinks me a scam him. Next thing me and John have a fallout. Next thing John do something enough. Government. Pull up on the socks, man. But you have to do better than that. And speaking of schools, have you seen the viral video of a teacher at Newell's High School threatening a student with murder and chasing him around? If you haven't seen it, take a look.
Me murder you. You hear? You look for me good. Me kill man already and me kill man again. I'm not afraid to do it.
Banyak.
Me don't love nothing with seed. Nothing. So you're easiest thing for them.
Now that was crazy indeed. I mean, beyond crazy. The teacher needs some mental evaluation because something has to be wrong with the teacher. That teacher lost control. I mean, total control. I mean, how you just gonna respect him again? How can he be allowed to be in a classroom in front of students again? But I think the ministry will have to do. It's crazy, really crazy. Now, moving on in the news or in the review, I see local government elections has been postponed again. I've lost count as the number of postponements. It's a long postponed local government poll seems headed for another postponement, with the country's electoral authority indicating that the budget needed to execute the elections, which are due by the end of next month, has not yet been approved by the government. Is it a problem with approval or a problem with finding the resources? Because I see 2024, there's plans to have a referendum. It's going to cost money just the same way. So are you putting one off for the other? But the local government is overdue. Really overdue. Right? Only if do better. Only if do better. Only must do better than that. I see where the opposition leader, Mark Golding, has criticized Prime Minister Andrew Holness for his administration's more than a year-long policy of non-engagement with Chief Richard Curry-led compound Maroons in St. Elizabeth. Now, on January 6th of this year, the Maroons marked their 285th anniversary of their ancestors signing a peace treaty with the British. And in that whole celebration, which I understand was big and elaborate, there was no government presence, none whatsoever. Government culture is part of the culture. Whatever differences you have with them, put it aside. Put it aside. You understand? Now, to entertainment, which is always something going on, but not that significant amount of things happening. I would think in the entertainment circle. Regular area, more leave those alone. But there was a story that I saw last week that caught my attention. And his veteran reggae artist, 78 years old, Max Romeo, is set to make his final tour after 57 years of touring. So, Romeo is a self-confessed Manleyite. He told the Gleaner, "I'm a Manleyite from then, I guess in the 70s, until this day. In 1972, I was instrumental in Let the Power Fall on I. And I was one of the main persons on the bandwagon. Songs like Joshua No and Socialism is Love were great motivation for Michael Manley. I liked the majority of his policies, and during that time, we were singing lyrics that motivated the leaders." Max Romeo recalled of the era when Manley was referenced as the biblical Joshua who would lead his people out of captivity. The PMP, which chose Let the Power Fall on I. And if you're too young to know Max Romeo, oh, let the power fall on I, and I let the power. That song, big song. And it was chosen in 1972 as the campaign song for the PNP for the general election. Other hit songs included War in a Babylon, Tribal War in a Babylon, Is it out there? Big tune again. And Chase the Devil, which has been, that song Chase the Devil has been sampled by many artists all over the world, including Jay-Z. Yes, Jay-Z did a sample of that, or somebody did a version of it, for a song called Lucifer. Lucifer, son of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of the earth. You know, it's a big song, and Max Romeo is embarking on his final tour, and this tour he'll visit Israel, UK, and France, and I want to wish him all the success on this his final tour. Strength and light and guidance, my elder. Now, Valiant. Valiant is making the news, you know. Valiant come take this thing by a storm. So we hear about some big fashion magazine, Vogue or some magazine featuring Valiant as the next big thing to come out of Jamaica. And then there was the catchy acting, and then there was the dance thing with him, like jump on the fool, everybody would think them just said dance because them think it's topic. They said dance because them said then I passed no subject, then I finished school, and you call them dance society, but look at me now. That's what they basically say. So even though you style me as dance, look at what I've achieved and look at where I am. So I see him he has been showing off his musical mastery since bursting on the scene in a big way last year. But this week, the dancehall entertainer is demonstrating his good-heartedness with a visit to his alma mater, Oberlin High School, where he gave a surprise performance, held a rap session with some of the students, and discussed ways he could further his contribution to the school. That is not done by no stretch of the imagination. When if you understand, or do you them a flex? If you understand the flex. So entertainment, I see bolt money gone, and a certain 7 L.A. Lewis is claiming that them take away him $7 billion. The national clown. So L.A. Lewis. So they give them take him $7 billion, they want it back, and then give it a warning and a the time period pass already. You know, LA sevens. Give back him $7 million, you know here. Hey, you know what? LA. We could talk about like sports here, man. So I said the West Indies cricket team is on a 2-test tour of Zimbabwe, which starts this Saturday the 4th of February. And I want to wish the team all the best. I want to see the West Indies team in this time of enough talk about unity and regional unity. I want to see the West Indies team climb up to the top of the charts and top of the line. So let's go, guys. In football, I see a guy that I kind of did like, Clovis de Oliveira, Brazilian, taking up a job to coach a team in the Premier League in Jamaica. So I want to talk about a possible withdrawal from the Jamaica Premier League from newcomers Chapperton Maroons has gone out to the door. So Chapperton Maroon missed a match. They got points deducted from them, and they were fined, heavily fined, and they said, you know what, they might have pulled out the tournament or the competition. And they just fired their coach, I think, Lenny Hyde. Now, they're now set to have a new coach when the second round of match kicks off on February 12th. Brazilian Clovis de Oliveira, who formerly coached the Reggae Boys, begins his first stint in the local Premier League when Chapeltown Maroons face Overview at Donga Junker at Anthony Spalding Sports Complex. Good move. Good move. I love some young coaches can learn from these experienced coaches. I see the TNT officials are in Jamaica, sports officials. It's a good thing. If you can't beat them, TNT, join them, find out what they want to do, what they want to eat, find out how the genes work. Caribbean unity, that's what it is. Caribbean, we help our brothers and sisters. Big respect. Jamaica School Sports Program is now being studied by its Caribbean neighbors, Trinidad and Tobago. To this extent, TMT Sports Minister Shamfa Kodja, so like a maroon, is in Jamaica and will be conducting a study tour of the island's youth sports program. The minister's visit, which is part of a bilateral talks to strengthen the relationship between both nations, is aimed at helping development of our country's sports program at the school level. While in Jamaica, Kodja will visit GC Foster College, Jamaica's premier sporting training institution, the Institute of Sports, and the ministries responsible for sports and education. The Gleaner RGR Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year 2022 awards were issued. And 22-year-old sprint hurdler Rashid Broadbell won under the men's category. And for the 5th time, the Mommy Rocket, Shelly Ann Fraser Price won the women's title. Congratulations to both athletes. Now, the biggest thing in the other country, and maybe internationally, is Bolt and SSL. I don't know where to start. We touched on it last week, and we're going to go back because it continued to dominate the headlines in the course of last week, the week 4. Bolt started the week by an Instagram tweet or Instagram post saying focus, don't get distracted by the PR stunts. And only something in that line, it says. Now, there was talk that his manager, the they had split amicable. Both set that record straight and saying that's not so. The manager was fired. And there's many talk of them if there's any involvement, investigations going on. And the manager has denied any involvement, so we will see where that goes, because we're seeing overseas forensic experts being invited to the country, including the FBI. So we will see how that pans out. Now, Sir Bolt is still in this country, and he will do anything to promote its good name and promote country. And part of that is avoiding overseas media interviews, because he never want solid in here. You know? Prime Minister, your name get caught up when I say you have money in. Well, you did say you have money in SSL. Not wrong with that. But you used to buy your property and you build your house. But it's like certain dots. After certain thing happen, you withdraw all of your money. So you like you get some insider trading or something. What go on this? Why story about that, Mr. PM? What go on this? It don't look good enough. Now, the BOJ has not been given oversight responsible for the FSC, the Financial Services Commission. And some people don't think that's a good move at all. They think it's an overreach, including Chartered Accountant Dennis Chung, who think it's vesting too much power in the BOJ. Now, the minister said he was sent a FSC report, but the report never got to his attention. Now, somebody forget, drag up and lose something and something, because it's a critical thing. How that report can come to you and it don't reach your attention. And some people are making the comparison with the invitation you got to go to album launch. You know, I saw a bunch of public bodies had investments or has investments in the SSL, including Housing Trust and some other places. I see the Housing Trust put on the release that their money is safe. So how the thief borrowed money, but the money for government institution, then better than it. If you don't have a thief, you don't support thief, but if you don't have a thief, why never just thief the money there from the institution there and leave borrowed money alone? You know, what I find interesting is the last time I checked, the SSL website was still up and running. I can go on and open an account. When you again put a stop into certain things. If you know certain things are right, why is it still allowed to be running? Eh? Two former CEOs have now claimed that they knew not of Bolt's account, two of them. And SSL executives are reporting to have a vow of silence. Now, I see we are a company with some connection to SSL, and I'm connected to someone. Maybe children of the principals who own it, or people used to be involved in SSL. Company called Crosscurry Capital. I said I'm in some partnership involvement with NNM nationwide. What go on nationwide? What go on? What's up with that? Make sure reporting is skewed for defenders, straight and balanced. Now talking about that, former Prime Minister Bruce Gordon kind of says something which I agree with. That if government gives license to these institutions to operate, then in a sense, the government has allowed these institutions to operate in a way that's not proper, and such as fleeced people like a Bolt. So he's put some blame at the feet of the government. Now a certain MP who is prone for utterances that has no class, I'm trying to be polite in here, who seems to think he floats in everybody else's walks, and the party they want to make come from Mr. Warrington. I see him take on Bruce Gold and trace him out. Don't even disagree. They didn't even disagree with him. And it's okay to disagree without to be a quarrel. But they disagreed with him and went into other areas as who's worst Prime Minister. And I'm sure when Bruce was Prime Minister, he defended Bruce. Virgin. You know, I'll move past that. Them little man enough get no time, no ear time. I also found it interesting that the Financial Services Commission secured a court order on Wednesday of last week, blocking attempts by directors of the investment firm to liquidate his assets. So they want to liquidate them assets and disappear. Good move. Good move for block it. Mr. The Prime Minister tell people say they must stop following nonsense. Must provide the sign to the Prime Minister so people can follow it. You can't be quiet and silent and then tell people say them stop following nonsense. Because with an issue like that, people can get information and people can put it out there. And if you don't say that, then people can come to their own conclusions. You know? And the FBI, the overseas foreign forensic experts will come and say, whatever is whatever. I see the Prime Minister again saying that the government will not bail out any failed financial institution. The declaration by the Prime Minister. And he spoke at the annual Jamaica Stock Exchange Capital Markets Conference. Prime Minister, you know where you go with that in a FinSac. Why not just release the FinSac report once and for all? Once and for all, repeal it. And what else happened? And checking the clock on the wall, it looks like it's time for me to go. But before I go, there was something that happened in the UK earlier this month, and I found it very, very interesting. Extremely interesting. Something to do with the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Take a look at this.
Yeah, Chris, in the history of political own goals and gaffes, it's hard to think of many bigger, more unnecessary, unforced errors than this. Let's start with the statement, the rather innocuous statement we got from Lancashire Police in the last hour saying, you will be aware that a video has been circulating on social media showing an individual failing to wear a seatbelt while a passenger in a moving car in Lancashire. After looking into this matter, we have today issued a 42-year-old man from London with a conditional offer of fixed penalty. Innocuous sounding enough if it weren't for the fact that that 42-year-old man is the Prime Minister, and it's circulating on social media because he put it up there himself. Now, Rishi Sunak he apologised for this yesterday, said it was a brief error of judgment. In the last few minutes, we've actually had a statement from a Downing Street spokesperson now saying the Prime Minister fully accepts this was a mistake and has apologised. He will, of course, comply with the fixed penalty notice. We don't know how much that notice is. We believe the maximum can be up to £500. Not a sum I expect will trouble Mr. Sunak much. He was a millionaire before he got into Downing Street. But politically, this is uncomfortable.
Well, how significant is it politically? I mean, won't a lot of people just say, look, it's a seatbelt?
Yeah, a lot of people will say that. It's not as significant as, say, the fine that was picked up by Boris Johnson, who was the first Prime Minister to be found to break the law while in office last year, when he picked up a fixed penalty notice for those Downing Street gatherings during lockdown, at which Mr. Sunak was also at one where he received a fixed penalty notice. There was a lot of moral outrage at the time because of what the country was all going through at the time. This is, of course, on nowhere near the scale of that, but it is politically uncomfortable. Remember, just 3 months ago, Prime Minister walked into Downing Street promising integrity, professional and accountability. That's trickier now. And look, ultimately, yesterday, the Prime Minister, the reason why he was doing that video was he was touring the country celebrating dishing out £2.1 billion as part of his levelling up, as part of the levelling up agenda. Nobody's talking about that at the moment. What they're talking about is him getting fined by the police.
Now, interestingly, the story says that the UK Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, got a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt. The story went on to say Rishi Sunak may be the Prime Minister of the UK, but that doesn't make him immune to a police ticket. Lancashire Police had issued a fixed penalty to the UK Prime Minister for failing to wear a seatbelt when one was available. Now, I thought But can you imagine this happening in Jamaica? Somebody ticketing the Prime Minister? I spoke about Warrington before. I saw about some issue with the police, and the police was right to me. Now, I can't imagine any police trying to give the Prime Minister a ticket in Jamaica. There will be calls to the commissioner, him boss, right away be fired on the spot. The Prime Minister, people around him, would have beat him to sickness. Him would have, that could have never happened in Jamaica. But that's how it should be. Because nobody is above the law. Nobody whatsoever. So, that's the end of my review for this week. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll comment if there's anything else that's caught your mind during the course of the week. But until we meet again next week, I want to wish you all the best for the upcoming week. Every single day of the week. All the best. And until we meet again, as usual, it's one love. One love.
Thanks for watching.